Hello everybody, this is HG Shaves here. I'm back with another video. I hope this finds you well and in good health or quickly recovering. Today I decided I wanted to do just a kind of easygoing shave. We've got 2 days of growth to work with here, and yeah, I just wanted something with no fussing, no mussing, right? So let's start with the razor. Going to be using the Rockwell 6S, which was kindly gifted to me by Michael Friedberg quite some time ago, after I remarked how much I love the Rockwell 6C. Well, this is one of the most popular razors out there, and it's popular for a reason. You know, Rockwell isn't maybe my favorite company in terms of some of the quality control issues they've had, but if you get one of 6S or 6C and there isn't anything wrong with it, they're pretty good razors. I would go as far to say that the 6C, because I prefer the weight of that compared to this, I would go as far to say that the 6C is the best modern DE razor I have ever tried. And specifically using the 4-plate for, you know, if I'm gonna do a 3-pass shave like I am today, 4-plate for the first 2 passes, 2-plate for the last pass. That's, I mean, a really incredible combination for me. So that's what we're gonna be doing today with the 6S. We've got a Treet Trig blade in there on its third use. For the soap, we're going to be using Declaration Grooming !puzzle, as it's more commonly called. For a couple of years there, Scott of Declaration Grooming would make a mystery puzzle soap, and you had to guess the scent notes, and if you guessed them right, then you would win a prize. The most recent year, the winner won a custom brush from Scott, and I happen to know that person, so I'll give a shout out to him at this time. And he recently finished his tub of soap. Like, I think this week he managed to do that. So congrats to you if you're watching. So the scent notes on this are vanilla, tobacco, rosemary, vetiver. I believe that's what it is. Because of the vanilla, it is quite a dark soap, chocolate color. He didn't say specifically to avoid using a badger brush, but I probably would. I'm going to be using a synthetic today as a result of this. It's a beautiful scent, very typical tobacco vanilla, and you know, I think there's a reason why so many of the scents that we like these days are containing tobacco and vanilla. I'm going to be using Barrister and Mann Ravish Aftershave Splash to kind of play on the vanilla theme. That's one of my favorite soap scents as well, but unfortunately I can't use the soap. It gives me a little bit of irritation, but the splash is fine, which is kind of different than what you would expect. And then for the brush today, as I mentioned, I'm going to be using a synthetic. I'm going to be using my trusty Timberwolf from Maggard and the Dogwood Handcrafts custom brush here. We're just going to go ahead and write it and start loading the soap. I haven't used this soap in quite some time, and we did have a little bit of a dip in the weather yesterday and today, and so it's starting to feel a little bit more like you know, the colder seasons, fall and well, the beginning of spring. Not like we're kind of near the end of spring now, but yeah, this is definitely suited for those scents, I would say, because of the tobacco and I guess the vetiver, though it's hard for me to pick out the vetivers specifically. It's like the vanilla and the tobacco are blended very well together, and it's, you know, kind of a combination that I recognize. I can smell the rosemary kind of on top, and then the vetiver is the thing. I'm not quite sure that I would have, you know, guessed that as a scent note if I didn't, you know, already know it was in there. So we're just getting a heavy load again because I haven't used this soap in a while. You tend to need to use more product when, you know, you've had a dry soap for a long time versus one that you use every day or every other day or something. So we'll start with that. I'm sure this will be good for us. And man, terrific scent, really nice, and you know, too bad it's not one of the regular offerings. And we're going to go right into the face lather here. This is the milk steak base, which has been out now. It'll be 2 years in October, if my memory serves me correctly. Only reason why I remember that is because I remember if we stopped on the side of the road, or I had my wife help me. I remember ordering a tub of dark fall in milk steak on the highway headed to a shaving meetup in October of 2019 in Louisville, Kentucky, which was was a smaller meetup, but got to meet some wonderful people. And yeah, so that's why I have a frame of reference of when Milkstick was actually publicly released. Milkstick tends to be pretty soft, you know, out of the factory, if you will, but it does firm up if you have it for a while. Like I've had this puck for over a year, because I didn't buy this as a part of the contest. I got it on the secondary market. We're gonna add a little water here. And yeah, this is just a really kind of amazing soap base. You know, I think at the time when this was released, it really encouraged other makers to up their game. And at this point, we've had so many scents that are, you know, equally as good. But you know, there's nothing wrong with Milkstick for me, so I don't chase bases like I used to. And yeah, it's amazing how great this soap base still is, even though it's, you know, almost a couple of years old now. All right, I'm gonna keep working this in, and then I'll bring you back in when I'm about to start my first pass. So here we go. We're gonna go with the first pass on the 4 plate with a 6S with a Treet Trig blade on its 3rd use, I believe. It's been quite some time since I've used the 6C or the 6S. So still trying to remember how to use this. But one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of this razor was that when I tried it, I didn't have as much razor experience as I do now. And back then, I could really notice how easy this razor was to use. Easy in the sense that even on the higher plates, the 5 and 6 plate, they're still not really that aggressive. Right, I forgot about this. I have to adjust the sideburn a little bit. Bear with me. Yeah, we'll go right about there. And so I think definitely for a beginner, or even for somebody more experienced like me who prefers milder razors that are still efficient, I think this razor is a terrific option. You know, it's not like some other adjustable razors out there that are very aggressive no matter which setting you put them on. And in that case, I am talking about, you know, proper adjustables where there's a dial. This is an adjustable plate system, which they are different, but anyway, yeah, so the ease of use and the kind of mild nature of it with the efficiency, I think is a good thing for this razor. Of course, this one is made of stainless steel. And I think it retails for $100 US. If my memory serves me correctly. And that is, you know, definitely a fair price for an all stainless razor that has, you know, the adjustable plates. One other thing with this razor is that due to the weight and finish compared to the 6C, I do find the 6C to be smoother. Some people have said that the heavier the razor, the more, you know, natural weight to it. So the more efficient it's going to be. Maybe I could buy that. All right. No issues on our first pass there. I'm going to rinse it and bring it back in for pass number 2, still on the 4 plate. Pass number 2. All right, we're going to do pass number 2 across and with the grain mostly, still on the 4 plate. Second pass complete. Really trying to let the weight of the razor do the work, as they say. Just, well, really just using light pressure, right? So I'm going to do a rinse, switch over to the 2 plate, and then we'll do our final third pass. Third and final pass. All right, second pass against the grain here on the 2 plate now. And I must say, you know, whether you're using an adjustable plate system like this one, or you're using like an old school Gillette adjustable, there is something satisfying about swapping down to a lower setting for the last pass and going against the grain like this. You know, you've knocked off most of your hair anyway, so we might as well dial back the aggression. And have a smooth against the grain experience, if you will. I think I've spoken mostly positive about this razor. Two other kind of negative things I could say about it to, I don't know, mention something else is it is kind of a chunky head design. And I do actually notice that in use, you know, now using this after using mostly vintages, it just is more, you know, razor, there's just more surface area touching the skin when you shave. And with the 6C, it's maybe not as big a deal, but again, with the weight of this, it does sometimes feel like it's like you're really shaving with like a tank. The other thing with this razor, what was I going to say? Oh, the other thing about this razor that I could complain about is that it's just not very exciting, you know? I don't know. I mean, it's partially the look. It's you know, it looks fine. It doesn't look bad. It's not particularly appealing to me. And also, I think because it just is so popular, that also makes it seem not as intriguing. And so it is kind of a boring razor in that way to me. I mean, if you love using yours, power to you. But you know, using a vintage gem or Gillette compared to this, no contest. You know, those are way more interesting to me than this. However, as I've said to people before, if I were to get out of the shaving hobby and really just try to shave, you know, to shave and get the best possible shave, I could be convinced to, you know, keep the 6S or the 6C as my only DE razor and just roll with that, you know, forever. It is that good of a razor. It's just, it is kind of boring to me as a hobbyist, but that, you know, not all of us are hobbyists like this. So really close shave. It feels like I just used some aggressive razor, like how close the shave is, and I didn't even try, you know. So again, it's a good razor. It's a good razor. All right, I'm gonna do my final rinse and then bring it back in and talk to you over the aftershave. For aftershave today, I'm going to be using Ravish by Barrister and Mann, as mentioned. This was released for Valentine's Day 2020, 2019. It's 2020. The year is flying by. So this was themed for Valentine's Day. It's got vanilla. It's got a little citrus in there. Kind of forget what else, but I really like this scent. I could be convinced to pick up the EDT in the future. I mean, this is discontinued as far as I know. But man, this is a terrific scent for me. It's like a big hit of citrus up front for me, and then I begin to smell the vanilla and some other sort of intriguing notes. Yeah, wow, this is a really good one for me. And it's too bad that the soap, I'm partially allergic to the soap, so I can't use the soap, but Splash works fine. So there you go. Barrister and Mann Ravish. I doubt that's coming back, but never say never, you know. Will actually especially has been bringing back a lot of old scents as of late. So again, never say never. Okay, let's do a final recap here. We used the Declaration Grooming puzzle 2019. Terrific tobacco vanilla scent. Definitely one I could use for months on end in the colder months. We used and talked at length about the 6S. Hopefully you got your 6S fill, those 6S fans that follow me. And then we used the Dogwood Timberwolf brush. All right, that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to get in touch if you have any questions or comments. And until next time, this has been HD Shaves. Thanks so much. Goodbye.